guys, we back for our weekly meeting talking about The Man You Are Called to Be by Anthony Bryce. As you can see, we still got it. It's hanging around. We've been doing some more reading and just want to make sure everybody get a chance to, do a holler out or something on how they, let's check the temperature. How you feeling today? How you feeling today? You want to go, Driscoll? Because I don't think you're feeling the best. So let's talk about it. How you feeling today?
Well, testing started off kind of rough, but we got it together. So shout out to the squad. We all know who the squad is, the tech squad around here. Appreciate y'all for coming through.
So you feeling a little better? You feeling anxious last time prior to starting Rocky, or what's that about?
I don't know. Now it's just like
You just mellow now?
No, I wouldn't even say mellow. It's just going. I'm rolling with the punches.
Okay. What about you, Mr. Jordan? How you feeling?
It's Thursday.
You just came back from recruiting too.
I did. I do. I feel very refreshed with the new population of students out there to recruit to come to Michelle Clark. Been kind of a long week, but very productive.
Okay. Mr. Turner, you've been helping because you're part of the tech squad. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good today.
Good.
I got nothing else to add. I'm feeling great.
You feeling great?
Life's
take
amazing.
that.
We'll take it. So let's get into the chapters that we've read or didn't read. But it doesn't matter because as we talk about it, it's really gonna come up. Mm-hmm. Mr. Jordan, I see you got your book in your hand, so you want to start with something there?
I thought you were starting with.
I can start.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Turner.
I'm going back to like day 13.
Yes, day 13. What's the topic of day 13?
The strength in facing what you feel.
Ooh.
I felt like that was pretty deep for me. We in the school, y'all. So
yeah, we in school. So the bell rings. It's gonna happen again in 4 minutes. So we're gonna talk fast.
But essentially, as men, we don't always like voice how we feeling, or you know what I'm saying, like express our feelings, how we really feeling, and that's something that we really should do.
But do you think that that's because that's innately taught to us, or taught to us not to do that, or you think because we're afraid of how people will respond if we, because we're not supposed to cry.
Life kind of like put that in us to not express our feelings. I don't know where it came from,
right?
But it's just, we like the older men in my family, like they don't express their feelings and nothing like that.
Like you very seldom hear a man say like "I love you," right? Unless I guess it's in a relationship.
Me and my dad, we just started telling each other that.
Okay.
Likewise.
But it was just like it was like what, not spoken but understood. He know I love him, right?
Yeah.
Very much so.
Why is that? Well, I mean,
love by actions. So it's like for men, like, even with friends and stuff like that, you don't need to tell each other all the time, like, oh, I love you, bro. But, just hearing it sometimes does, it feels good. But showing and being there, I think being there and being present for your people is important.
I think even when you think about even just using the word I love you, there's so many other things. Like, men don't give other men compliments. We just don't do it because, we got to preference it by saying, well, that don't mean I like you, or that don't mean I'm trying to hit on you. That don't mean so it always has to come with these labels of why, and versus just saying, I really like those kicks, or I really like that outfit. You really put it together, or, but we can look at a guy and be like, that guy's pretty cool, or he looks really nice today, but we might not ever say it. And especially for somebody we don't know, it makes it even worse because we're like, I'm not telling them that. So I think that even goes along with just us not expressing our feelings, but I don't know what that fear is, because if you were walking down the street and somebody said to you, man, I really like that fit, you really look great, and you didn't know them, what would be the first thing pop in your head?
I'll feel like I'm a superstar.
Yeah,
it made me feel good. I think men, as we get older, we feel like if we express that, then it shows some sign of weakness. Because like growing up with the three boys in my house, my brothers, we never really told each other we love them. We love each other until life started happening, and then, stuff started happening. Then we got in these situations where it's like, all right.
Were you kind of forced to do it?
Yeah, it's like, I love you, like, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Now I don't look at it like a sign of weakness. Like, I see somebody, you know, I try to intentionally give them at least one compliment or a couple people.
Even if you don't know him?
Yeah.
Have any of you guys ever did that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like you see a brother and you're
No,
like,
if I see like a
Yeah.
well put together, you know,
because we might have to practice that for next
Yeah,
week.
we can.
Next week we can find like at
even now,
least
like if I see y'all, man, y'all
Yeah.
like the
look
Nipsey
good,
Hussle
man.
shirt.
Yeah. Like I tell you all the time, I like a lot of stuff that you wear. Turn to wear some stuff. Told AP
But we
today, I
talking
like
about
this.
strangers. It's easy to tell us because we've been talking through this book and working through our
Yeah.
feelings and everything. But I'm saying if you see a guy put together, you know, at an event or somewhere, do you say, "Hey man, that's a really nice outfit"? You
I
really
recently did this.
okay,
I was leaving church.
okay.
This guy had a nice green suit on, and it looked real nice on him. I don't know him. I was like, he was across the street.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's a nice green, nice
Yeah.
suit, man.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
And that goes a long way.
It
It
does.
makes
cra-
somebody's day.
Now this is gonna be crazy. Like, so I like cars. So whenever I go to a car show or just see a nice car,
That's that 4 minutes.
and I'll definitely just shout people out, like, hey man, that's a nice car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do give people compliments. I think it's about like just what if somebody got on a nice watch or nice shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. But I have to go. Peace. Peace and blessings.
He has a meeting.
He has a meeting.
Hard
so
working man.
we are letting him out.
Appreciate
Driscoll, you
AP.
look nice in that shirt you have on.
Thank you. I don't know if I can believe it or not. But
You can believe it. You can believe it. As he exits the building. So I'm going to use mine real quick while we still have time. The truth of the matter is Mr. Driscoll didn't really read, so that's why he probably is leaving for his meeting. But don't tell him I said that on the intercom here. But what I will say is I will use a lot of day 12. Your circle determines your strength. And the reason why I thought that was important because there's so many times we don't always look at our circle that we're with of people. And sometimes we can be with a circle of people like you are the company that you keep. So we can be with a circle of people that might not be good for us or may not be enough that challenges us. And so we will always stay status quo because that's the group that kind of keeps us there. But what stood out to me most about that was in order for me to then be able to determine my strength by the circle I keep, I have to know my strength. I have to know I have to be self-aware within like who I am and be who I am whole. Because if I'm not aware who I am, then I could be with people who are maybe not good for me or maybe might be too far for me or something. And I'm with that group following them versus figuring out like my self-awareness to say, well, this is the group I need to be with. And I've heard a quote, and I hope I say it right, but like if you're the smartest person in the room, then your circle is wrong. Because if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're not getting anything, you're only giving.
Yeah, you're only feeding them.
Yeah. And so it's always interesting to strengthen yourself by the people that you're around by looking and saying, what do I get out of being in this circle? Like if I'm the giver because I'm always driving or if I'm always paying or then I'm not being strengthened in that circle. Yeah. So I think it's really important to think about like as we move into like that, how do we make sure that we with the right circle? Because sometimes the circles change depending on the season, right?
That's true.
And I'll stop so you guys can maybe talk about your thoughts on that. But I just think that we have to be okay leaving a circle to go to another circle.
That's interesting. So when I was reading, I was thinking about like my circles. I kind of grew up with two circles, older guys, and then I had a group of younger guys. And I learned different stuff with both groups. So the older group, I really learned like, how to be a young man, like how to be a professional. They all went to school. They all got their degrees. They all in, working. So they really taught me how to be professional and, how to be faithful and how to do all those things. And so that taught me to take to my other group, the younger group that I grew up with. I was able to like teach them a lot of different things that the older guys taught me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's right. Like, I don't know, you have to, you can't just pour into people and don't get anything back. So mine was a little different. I poured into one group and then the other group poured into me. So it was kind of.
So then you just had two circles.
That's a nice balance.
Yeah.
Dynamic.
Yeah, but the book kind of just talks about having one circle.
Yeah.
So you have to decide on the circle that supports you, basically.
Right.
What do you think, Turner?
So recently I've been evaluating like my circles,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, circles be big,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like many circles
Yeah,
in a
it's a
circle.
lot of small circles
Yeah.
in the big circle.
And so all my friends, like we all are friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but it's like it's subgroups. And so I just been trying to evaluate like who is who and what is what, and it's very necessary.
It's very necessary, but I think sometimes we, and the book also talks about this, that we'll put ourselves down to make sure that, because our fears of being better or moving better, we'll put ourselves down so that we can stay in that circle, or so people don't think we're trying to be better than them, or we're trying to do more. And so what happens is we shrink ourselves to be great in a smaller circle.
Yep.
And we do that as men because we don't want sometimes to stick out from the wolves, you know, the pack or something like that. And I think the more we don't stick out in the pack, the more we just status quo, we don't do anything. And our fear stops us from being the best us that we can be. And then we just continue to live that space in our life saying, well, this is who I am, or this is what it's always, which is the scary part, because then we, at the end, and I always question, do we live up to our true value? Or our true authentic self, because we're so busy trying to fit in or to be a part of something.
Another thing I feel like what stops us from like growing from like these groups. So you've been friends with these people for 10, 15 years, and then the idea of you stop being a friend or stop interacting with them, and then they like, oh man, he Hollywood now, or he doing this, that, and third. It's like that's always in the back of your mind.
But the thing is that sometimes you with these same group of people and they still talking about high school. And you're like, we out of high school. Like, why are we still talking about high school? But that's only memories they have. And so because that's all they have, then every time you with them, you're still talking about high school. You're like, I'm doing so much more. Like, do you know I know this now? Or do you know that I've been doing this? And that's not interesting because they can only know you from the what they have of you. And so what they do is they keep you in a box, but you keep yourself trapped in the box because you don't want to step out and be like, I'm not there anymore. I'm moved on to something else. And that's not to say you still can't be cordial to them. They just may not be your circle of strength. So that's just your circle. So I think that's the difference we have to look at in the book, is that are you my circle of strength?
That's why I would like that younger group. They're not that much younger, like 2 years younger than me.
Because I was like younger. What are they, 12?
No, they just a little younger than me. But what I do appreciate about them is they keep me on my feet. Like, they know I'm the older one, you know. But they always asking me challenging questions. They always challenge me to, you know, do this or what I think about this. So they bring a lot of stuff out of me that sometimes I didn't even think I had in me. We have a lot of hard conversations. They all got kids. I'm the only one that don't have a kid. So like, I'm challenging them. They challenging me. So I don't know. It just kind of depends on. That's why I look at them like they my strength, because they give me a lot of strength and like challenge me in a lot of ways that I haven't been challenged, especially with friends.
Yeah, I think that it's important though, even in that circle, that we have to know who we are. And I think the book has been pushing us to do some self-identity, to figure out who we are, what we like, what we don't like. Don't keep getting involved in the same thing over and over as like a hamster wheel or a revolving door. I'm right back where I was. And so I think as we keep going through that, we have to then continue to be honest with ourselves and say, you know, when I was younger, I liked ice cream. I don't like ice cream no more. Or I found out, you know, eating certain things was good when I was younger, but now it's not good for me as I've gotten older. You know, and I stopped eating that. So we have to, you know, being with certain people, being in certain relationships was good when I was a kid and we were doing whatever, sneaking around and all that. But now I'm too old to be talking about sneaking around. I'm too old to be saying, you know, I can sneak over there and I can leave out before. So so when do I start finding that circle of strength to say, this is where I don't do anymore? Like, these are my non-negotiables. And because they're my non-negotiables, these are the things I'm not going to accept in my life anymore because I've been there. I got the T-shirt on it. I've moved on, versus I'll still just accept that.
Yeah, I think what you said was powerful, knowing yourself. That, like, this book is challenging me to, and I think I know myself pretty well, but the book has challenged me to like kind of open up some more insights about myself. And you're right. Once you able to like really define who you is and what you enjoy, what you dislike, then you could kind of depict around you like, I don't want to be around this, I don't want to be around that. But it all starts with knowing who you is, and that's the internal work that like everybody who's watching, all of us have to do before we can even determine what circle is good for us, what circle is not good for us. Because if we don't know ourselves, then it's gonna be hard to look and see what we like and dislike.
I heard a lady say to another lady, real quick, tell me 5 things about you or who you are.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, quickly, tell me 5 things who you are. And the lady was like, oh, I'm a caregiver. Oh, I take care of people. And she's like, no, tell me who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, the lady couldn't.
Yep.
And so, of course, as I sat there, I was like, wow. So, because she was saying, like some of the things the lady was saying, she goes, you're describing something. You're not saying who you are. You know, you're describing that you're a nice person. You're describing that you like to laugh. But who are you?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, so I thought about that when I was reading some of the chapters, is I was like, that's powerful, because if you don't know who you are without saying other people to define you. So she was like, I take care of people. I'm a caregiver. So most people, if you ask them who they are, can only respond by what they do, not who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you could only respond by what you do, then that means everything that you do is based off of who you think you are, when it really may not
you
be.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which also then says that you may not know the things that make you angry, the things that trigger you, the things that have changed you in your direction of living, your direction of movement. So I thought that was really powerful, because if we can't figure out who we are, we can't figure out who we want to be.
That's true.
Dang, I should drop a mic on that one.
Yeah, that was good.
That's deep.
That was good.
That was just deep.
That was. Yeah, that's true.
So I won't put y'all on the spot saying, well, who are you? Who are you? But that's something I really would like us to think about, because as we think about that, if you know who you are, then there maybe are some things that we're accepting that we wouldn't normally accept.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's in relationships, that's in interactions with other people, that's in places that we go, things that we do. Once we know who we are, there's certain things we just... Some things would just be beneath us. Like, I'm not going to respond to everything somebody says because they're angry with their own issues.
Right.
I can't change the trauma that you have. You know, I saw the T-shirt that says, let me apologize to all the people that hurt you but never apologize to you. Because sometimes people take it out on you because somebody didn't apologize. But the piece in that is, then I haven't found out who I am in that.
Yeah.
So, any last things you guys want to add to this?
Find out who you are, do the work.
We find out who we are.
Right, and then
Right.
I'm confident that we will be able to choose what circles is good, what circles is not, what things we like, what things we don't like. But it all start with yourself.
Yeah. What you got, Tony?
I second what Mr. Jordan says. I got nothing to add.
You have nothing to
And
add?
we out.
But I think it's tough. So we got to
Yeah.
work on, like, so 2 things. We got to work on giving a couple compliments to strangers next
Yeah.
week, right? And we need to write, like, or remember, like, what their response was. And then 2, start thinking of 5 things that describes who we are, not what we do.
For
Yep.
sure.
So that we can then look at, as we talk about the circle of strength, what does that really mean for us? So thank you again. Once again, we are going through the man you are called to be. Our circle's a little small. As you saw, Mr. Driscoll left. We're missing Mr. Williams. But someday, as Diana Ross said, we will be together. That was before y'all time, so y'all don't know. Someday, we'll be together.
Yeah, I don't know
okay,
that.
He's showing his age.
okay, it's Motown. I just heard it. My parents told it to me. All right. So thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Machine